Today is September 25th, 2023, my 67th birthday. And 2 years ago we celebrated out in the Redwood Forest in California. And today we're here at Crawford Notch State Park in New Hampshire. And we're going to do a couple of hikes here, we hope, to perhaps Arethusa Falls, maybe Ripley Falls, Silver Cascade, Flume Cascade. We'll see what we find here in New Hampshire. Well, this appears to be the trail to Ripley Falls, and that's the Appalachian Trail sign, the magic marker on this little post. So we're going to head up this way. Not quite sure if it's on the Appalachian Trail itself or if it branches off to the left. But we're going to check out the Ripley Falls Trail. But we are on the famous AT right now, which is always exciting. And there's the white blaze to prove it on the right. Right now I just turned around and we're looking back at our RV, and there are two ladies there which I was just speaking with, and they are giving out food to all the hikers that come up the Appalachian Trail here, which is kind of neat. They're just going to sit there all day and hand out nutrition and water to anyone who needs it. And here comes my hiking buddy, I think. Well, just 2 steps into the trail, practically, and here is the flow from the waterfall. So we're going to head up and hopefully get up to the top real soon. All right, and the trail crosses these railroad tracks right here. We're going to proceed across the tracks. And back on the trail. And here we have Kathy on the Appalachian Trail. Just came up a very steep section. And we're going to hit the Ripley Falls Trail right up ahead of us, and it's about less than half a mile from there. So we're going to continue on. And we met a couple of through hikers here right behind us, and they're almost done. We're heading north to Maine, and then they're going to have done the entire trail, which is really fantastic. Okay. All right. So this is the junction of the Ripley Falls Trail and the Appalachian Trail. Appalachian Trail goes to the right this way, steep up those log steps. And the Ripley Falls is the blue trail in this direction. So let's go see the falls. We're up on the top of a cliff here with the water running below us on the left. And that really is a beauty. Ripley Falls. Worth the steep and somewhat rugged trail, but it was very short. Very much worth it to come here. Happy's working her way down. Well, that Ripley Falls was really a great birthday present today. And now the sun is out, and Kathy's going to stay in the car right now, and I'm going to head over to Silver Cascade and maybe Flume Cascade. We'll take a look right behind me. Well, Silver Cascade is literally right next to the road, about 20 feet from where I was just standing, and it's right up here. We're going to walk up a little closer. What a beautiful little gem right on the side of the road. And a couple of 100 yards just north of, I think it's 302, from Silver Cascade is the Flume Cascade, which to my eye is not as beautiful as Silver, but here it is. So as we travel back south on 302, we stopped here at the Willey house and the Willey pond. There's a family that lived here. I don't know that much, but back in the 1800s, 1820s. And behind me is where the house was located, but it's not there anymore. And a little interesting story, there was an avalanche that came down the mountain behind us, and there's a big boulder that spared the house from being demolished. So this is Willey Pond.
That's Willey Mountain.
Is that what it's called? Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's somewhere.
And the sun is going back in the clouds a little bit.
Oh, here it is.
And for our final activity of today, day of my 67th birthday, Kathy's in the van, in the RV. It's got some ice on her knee. So I'm going to hike this one alone. I'm going to go to the Bemis Brook Trail to Bemis Falls, which is, and Coliseum Falls, which I think combined, it's about 0.4 miles, so less than half a mile each way. So, should be back in about 20 minutes or so. So let's head up this rocky trail here. To Bemis Falls and Coliseum Falls. So very quickly we find the intersection here. Arethusa Falls goes to the right. A little too far for today right now. So that's the blue trail. We're going to take the yellow trail to the left. Bemis Brook Trail, which hooks up with the Arethusa Trail further on. So let's take a little spur. And our first point of interest . This is a really interesting spot here with the leafy greens and the gnarly roots. There's a little feeling of Lord of the Rings or something up in the Hobbit land. Well, I thought Bemis Falls was first, but we stumbled across Coliseum Falls. Well, just past the Coliseum Falls, there's this nasty climb up, which I think this is going to connect with the Arethusa Falls Trail. I may just follow this a little bit, but I suspect that we passed Bemis Falls. It must have been very small and not marked, but we'll head back down this trail in a minute and see if we can find it on the way down. I don't think we're going to continue too much further up here, being that Kathy's in the car. So there are a series of falls down here. I think that's Bemis Brook. Little cascades. So we're going to turn back at this point. And maybe we'll catch the Bemis Falls too. Just sneak a peek a little higher up. Okay, I think at this point we're heading back. And here is a view from just above the Coliseum Falls. A very small but pretty fall. So we're going to continue our search for Bemis Falls. Well, we're back at the sign for Fawn Pool, and in the distance in this view is Coliseum Falls. So I suspect this little cascade right here is Bemis Falls, and then that descends into this, which is Fawn Pool. And I think that's the mystery solved. So let's go get back to the RV. Kathy will feel better about that. And we're together because we have no cell service here, nothing's working. And we'll go have some dinner. That concludes our day of hunting waterfalls.